there it is. The little attack lure has done it again. Big oil from the bully. Welcome back to my lure box. It's a special one this week, folks. I'm taking a trip down memory lane. I've brought myself back to the exact snag that I caught my very first mangrove jack on 22 years ago, almost to the day, and I've decided to whip out an old favourite. This is the lure that got it done all those years ago, and we're going to go out and have another fish with this thing and see what we can find 22 years later. Let's get into the video. Yep. Oh, it's a good fish too. Oh, that's going to snap me off, I think. It could be a jack. It's got me right underneath that pylon there. Oh, it is a jack. Come here, buddy. It's a cracker too. You beauty on the little attack. Look at that. What a fish. Oh, got to be careful because it's all on 6 pound this. Oh, have a look at this, folks. Wow. It was pretty damn lucky. Oh, you wait till you have a look at this. Oh, he's biting down on the net. Oh. Oh. There you go. All right, folks, well, there it is. The little attack lure has done it again. Now, it was almost 20 years ago and only about 100 meters up from here where I got my very first mangrove jack on any lure, and it was this little one here. and it's still doing it's still doing it. It's standing the test of time. They're a lot harder to find these days, like I said, but they're a beautiful little lure with a great little action. And in dirty water like this, I've caught everything on these things. I've caught jacks, trevally, brim, flathead, whiting, Saratoga. They just do it all. A beautiful, beautiful mangrove jack today. It's a trip down memory lane for me from when I was 17, getting my very first. And I thought this could have been a big brim, the same that I did years ago. What a fight. All right, I'll get him back in the water. All right, off you go, mate. See you, buddy. And there she is. She's beaten up too, look. It's been ripped down past the pylons along those barnacle edges. Now those little hooks, I love them because they're so sharp and you can file them back to be super sharp with all of the punishment that they cop. I'm still confident because of the way that these are made that I can bend her back into shape and she'll be fine. I'm just gonna have a little file, tidy her up, and she'll be good to go again. Look at that leader. Oh, mate, I'm feeling all the way up this leader here. That's 6 feet a leader, and I've got to redo it. The whole thing has just been chaffed up along these pylons. I knew it got me in there early. It's so lucky that I got that thing in on such light line. Anyway, I'll retie some more and we'll keep going. That leader's going to the trophy cabinet. Alright, so you often get them on that front hook, and this back one's the one that was bent out, but they are pretty strong, these hooks, so I'm going to bend it back into place. I reckon they'll have another one in it. And then I'll just file it back so I can keep catching. Oh, they're still really sharp. That's still really good. What about these ones? No, they're all still really good. They're fine. Little loop knot on the front. Oh, she's got some scars on her back now. That's beautiful. There we go. Super catchy hooks. I love them. Yep, there's a fish. It was a great take too, off those flats. What is it? Uh-oh, uh-oh. Is it a trevally? Mate, it's going so hard. What is it? It's a crazy brim. That's a pretty solid one too for in here. Beautiful. Scared all the mullet off the bank. I was thinking flathead. Oh, so good. Stay there, mate. Oh, don't go down there. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't go down there. Mate, the moment it started tucking into the sand, that little thing, it looks a little bit like a yabby, I reckon, on the flats. And I reckon that brim thought the same thing. A little bit of lipstick. There, little red lips now. He's after it. Let's keep going. He took that like a trevally. He was so hard and fast for it. Yeah. Oh, there's a hit. Come on. Yeah, I got it now. I got it again. Look at this, guys. This is heaps of fun. Another nice brim, just off that little dark patch again on the little attack lure. Look at that. Geez, they are all over it. Come on, mate. Oh, and they're all proving to be an absolute punish in the boat. Oh, you're joking me. Go, buddy. Yep, on. Microbial. Micro brim at the peacock's house. Oh, not again. Mate, LBW twice, 2 from 2. Well, as we're going along, I'll just talk to you about how I like to fish this little attack lure. You know, what I love about it. There's so many good little aspects of this lure, and I didn't really understand it when I first got it all those years ago, but it was winning all of these brim tournaments, and guys were just, I saw it all through the magazines I'd read, and guys were just slaying everything on it, and the same thing started to happen to me. So as I got more and more experience with my lure fishing, I realised there's so many little design features in this lure that help make it so effective. One of the things I love about it is it's Aussie made, and it's made by a local small time designer. So they really understand what the bait is, you know, how it moves and what the local species are after. And when you get into these little systems right up the back, I think this lure really comes into its own. In a dirty water condition like we've got here, I'm right up the back of the Narang River here, and there's a lot of silt. There's tons of these fluvy, the stingrays, that get in on these sand flats and the mud flats, and they stir it all up. And then you've got the wind action, the tide, everything just creates a whole lot of muck in the water. And up the back of this system, when it gets dirty, there's a lot of mullet and a lot of bait that gets preyed upon. So something like this that's got a really busy action, and it's got that action that's just really busy even at slow speeds, that's enough to trigger a bite up the back here. The other thing it's got, particularly in these colours, have a look at the contrast there. That is just really easy to pick up, especially in dirty water. It's got a tiny little profile, you can see that. Really obvious eyes, a tiny little profile. It looks like a little yabby, I reckon, or a bait fish. And these estuary species, they just love it. You want to be throwing it on light line. It's such a light lure that you need that light line, like 6-pound line, to be throwing it. I'm throwing it on a 270 ultralight rod on a Zodias. I can feel everything through this rod, all the little hits. And the brim, when they hit it really aggressively. It's a lot of fun on light gear. You know, that light lure is perfect as well, because I'm fishing around overhangs, and you know, there's insects like cicadas and skinks that are falling out of these trees, little frogs and things, and when they land really softly on the surface, and the brim and the bass are ready for that. Even the trevally sometimes, and the flathead, they're all sitting along these little banks of these overhanging trees, and they just can't wait for a lightly presented little profile. So this little attack just fits the bill, I reckon. And wind it really slow, and it just keeps going. It's got a beautiful diving depth on it. It's about 1.5 meters. I can get it down to about 1 meter, 1.5 meters, and that's out of sight, which for me is like a confidence thing. If I can't see that lure, as soon as it goes out of sight, a lot of the time that's when the brim and the flathead and trevs will grab it. Same with the bass. And this gets right down into that depth. It's a floating lure, so what I'm doing is I'm going along here, I'm looking for submerged structure as well, and there's stuff that's kind of off the bank and little drop-offs and things, and so I'm I'm winding it in just consistently. I'm not tapping it or anything like that. Sometimes I'll stall it and let it float up right next to that sunken timber or on top of that sunken timber, so it just rolls over the top. And there's been a couple of times, just about 5 minutes ago, I was flicking and the brim all came up from underneath it. As soon as I stalled it and it started to rise up, in came the brim and they started to fight over it. It's magic to watch. So that's McGrath's attack lure. These things have just been a favourite of mine ever since I was a kid, and it's still doing the damage on good fish. I love to fish with these things. They're very hard to find. Now, I went to Mo Tackle online to get mine. I know they've got them in stock. They're one of the only stockists of these now. And I'll put a link in the description to where I got mine. So if you're after some to try yourself, you can get them. They're a fantastic little lure, especially on the light gear. Now look, there's a whole heap more videos coming. I've got more stuff offshore on the ski, chasing stuff in my kayak in the next few weeks, and also a whole heap of big flathead stuff as well. So there's plenty more to come on this channel. Keep watching. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.